in mere weeks, campuses will be full of eager learners. But if you'd rather matriculate in the metaverse, you're in luck. 10 virtual reality colleges or metaversities will launch this fall. Students and faculty wear virtual reality headsets and then meet up anywhere in the virtual world, aka the metaverse. And then proponents say, though, that virtual realities boost student engagement and achievement, while the critics have raised concerns about student privacy and corporate profits. So who's enrolling in a metaversity?
Oh, really?
Yes, yes, you. Yes, you in the second row, because I would enroll too. Guys, just think about it for a second. So I studied art history, and I studied it the same way that for 100 years it had been studied. In a dark room with slides projected on a flat wall, seeing places that you're supposed to, like the top of the Acropolis, all those buildings. Think about the Vatican, all of these incredible treasures. We looked at schematics and aerial views and had no great understanding how everything connected. In this new metaverse university, we could be sitting, I'd like to think, in a lecture hall, wearing those, walking through the ruins of Pompeii, everything in context, learning, experiencing, going through the hallowed halls of civilizations around the world. It would be so beautiful.
But let me simplify it. Hold on, let me simplify it. Guess who's making a comeback? Miss Frizzle. She was doing this in the 90s. Miss Frizzle. Seatbelts, everyone. She was doing this in the 90s.
I don't know who that is.
She was taking us through
There's
the
a lot of
heart.
people who don't know who she is.
Who's Miss
I mean,
Frizzle?
I'm young. I know Miss Frizzle. Come on now. Come on to Magic School Bus. So she was a teacher who illegally took her students on a magic field trip. And they're like, oh, let's investigate how the heart works. She goes, say less. And she took them in the heart. She was already doing this in the 90s. Now let me just...
There it is.
Hear me out here. Students learn differently. We are in 2022. Gone are the days of traditional learning, of sitting in a classroom and listening to someone preach up front. People learn differently. So for people who are visual, tactile learners, this is an incredible opportunity. Different learners, people who just need something different, or maybe they're not ready to return to the classroom. So there are benefits and pros to this, but I understand why there's some reservation, but buckle up, everyone, let's go.
I love that you said that, because I mean, you're still a teacher. As a former teacher, and having gone through the last 2.5 years of pandemic, where 18 months of that, I was virtual learning, trying to help my daughter virtually learn. The last thing I want is her to be anywhere near anything online virtual again for a very long time.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, and I would say a lot of teachers would probably. So I think for this, what makes it interesting is the age. It's for university-age kids or college-age kids. It's not for, I don't think yet, it's not meant for kids that are my daughter's age, thank goodness. No. And there's a lot of pros to this. There's a lot of people who can't afford to travel, they can't afford tuition or traveling halfway across the world for the education of their dreams in France or wherever, maybe just not Russia. But you know, there's so many more classrooms available and courses of study available for someone who puts this on rather than to having to spend all the money. But there's obviously a lot of cons as well. I mean, I'm trying to think of them right off the bat.
Well,
but
here's one. I think that, like, I agree. I think that this is such a benefit for academia, but I'm worried about the development. The developers. I'm worried about who is developing this technology.
The curriculum?
Not just the curriculum, but the actual tech, the algorithm, if you will. We've already seen problems with racial bias in virtual facial recognition. You've heard about this, right? Facial recognition technology is racist. It is not fair to people of color. So now you're talking about science or research or history, which is already proven to be racist and biased, right? You have racial bias and gender bias in medicine. That's why women never get the benefits of medicine, because your research is always based on white men. History, colonialism. You take a virtual tour through the Vatican, as you mentioned. What if the developer of this technology happens to be a Catholic? And what information is being downloaded in that program through the Vatican? Are you learning about colonialism? Are you learning about genocide?
Wouldn't that be up to the instructor, to the teacher, not the actual developer of the thing?
Miss Frizzle would never do that. Miss Frizzle would never do that.
Yeah, Miss Frizzle looks white with curly hair.
It's just wanting the technology to be able to experience something, and then we leave it up to our esteemed educators to say, hey, that thing in the Vatican, it was stolen.
Yeah, this is true. I just want to get back on the bus. That's a nice place to be.
Hey there, and thanks for sticking around. Wasn't that just fantastic? You know where you can get some more all-around great content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with all the laughs and thought-provoking chats you could ask for. So do yourself a favor, like and subscribe now.